It's time for Strange Darkness Radio's Christmas special.
Beware the hollow boy, my friends, whose ribs are carved of ice. He wanders through the freezing dark to test if you'll be nice. For those who hoard their warmth away will pay a chilling price when winter's judgment comes. When winter's judgment comes.
Good evening, travelers of the dark. I am your guide, Benson, dragging a lantern through the long winter night, leading you through the shadows of another Christmas tale. You've heard the cozy stories, the sugar-coated myths, the hallmark miracles. But winter keeps older company. Tonight, we walk with 7 spirits that haunt the edges of December. A hollow child of ice, a goblin who knows your secrets, nightmare things from beneath the earth, a horse skull that wants to come inside, a witch at the window, dancers made of red frost, and a sleigh that glides with no sound at all. These are the ones the carols forget, but the snow remembers. So gather close, warm your hands, and do not stray from the path. Our first story comes from the far north, where hunger has a face and winter wears the shape of a child. Gryli's 13th child, the hollow boy of ice. In Iceland, they say winter is not just a season, it is a family. You know their names: Gryla, the ogress mother who feasts on wicked children; the Yule cat, prowling through the snow, hungry for those without new clothes; and her 12 Yule lads, mischief walking on 2 legs, knocking, stealing, laughing. But there is another, the one they do not sing about, the 13th child. They call him Gljúpni, the hollow one. He does not stomp or shout, he does not bang on doors. On the coldest nights, when the wind dies and the world holds its breath, he appears at the homes where cries for help have gone unanswered. A translucent boy, ribcage like ice sculpture, hollow as an empty bowl. He walks barefoot over snow that does not crunch. He leaves no tracks. He comes to the window of the well-fed, the warm, the ones who turned away when the poor came knocking. He leans close to the glass, breathless, and in a voice like cracking ice, he whispers,
"What you keep, keeps you." Inside, the fire is bright, the table is full, the laughter is loud, and no one hears him. But winter does not need to be heard to be obeyed. By morning, the ones who refused charity wake to find their breath frosting behind their teeth, lungs burning with a cold that did not come from the air. No doors forced, no footprints, just a final riddle etched in frost across the window. Give or be given to the cold.
Remember, travelers, in some places the ghost of Christmas is not a lesson from the past, it is a test in the present. But what happens when winter doesn't just test your kindness, it tests your honesty? For our next tale, we walk to the old lands of Germany and Poland, where a tiny goblin in borrowed clothes knows every secret you've tried to bury. The Wendish Hodeken, the goblin that knows your secrets. In the Wendish corners of old Europe, they were a spirit who loves Christmas not for its joy, but for its lies. They call him Hodeken, a small, dwarf-like goblin with a round face, eyes too bright, smile too sharp. He appears only near Christmas, when families gather, when tables groan with food, when everybody pretends to be better than they are. See, Hodeken has a hobby. He collects secrets. On Christmas Eve, when the clock creeps toward midnight, He slips into wardrobes, creeps under beds, rifles through drawers, and he chooses an outfit. Not just any outfit, no, he chooses the clothes of the one he plans to punish. So imagine, traveler, a winter night, firelight dancing on the walls, the whole family gathered. Someone goes to the window, and there, reflected in the glass, they see a tiny version of themselves, wearing their own clothes, staring back. That is Hodeken, and he has found you. On Christmas Day, he begins his work. He tips cups so the drunkard is exposed. He tugs on tongues so cheating hearts slip and confess. He bangs on doors when someone lies about where they've been. He is merciless with those who mistreat children. A slap in anger, a cruel word, a promise broken too many times. You may find your voice gone, your bed rattling at night, your own clothes walking the house without you, until you stand before your family and finally speak the truth. Only then does Hodeken leave, pockets heavy with secrets paid in full. Christmas can hide many things under tinsel and tradition, but not from him. From goblins who expose our lies, we descend deeper, beneath the earth itself, to meet the creatures who spend all year trying to end the world, only to be stopped by Christmas. The Kallikantzaroi, Greek Christmas nightmares. In Greece, there is a story of the Kallikantzaroi, a swarm of demonic, monkey-like goblins with long fingers and eyes like burning coals. They do not live in your world, not usually. Most of the year they dwell deep underground, at the roots of the great world tree that holds up the earth itself. Day after day, year after year, they work in a frenzy, sawing at the trunk with rusted blades, broken teeth, and claws that never dull. They laugh as the wood creaks, they cheer as the cracks spread. They dream of the day the world tree finally splits, and the whole world comes crashing down. And then, just when they're about to succeed, Christmas comes. For 12 days, from Christmas to Epiphany, the tree is protected. The goblins are spat out of the underworld, forced up to the surface world like bad dreams breaking into waking life. They spill into villages, into towns, into city streets, howling with frustration. They climb roofs, sneak through chimneys, spoil food, tangle hair, steal shadows. But here is the strange mercy of it. Their chaos saves us. Because while they're busy tormenting humanity, the world tree heals. Its trunk closes, its roots strengthen. And when the 12 days end, the Kallikantzaroi are sucked back underground, only to find the tree whole again, their year of labor undone. So they start over, sawing, gnawing, scheming, maddened by the one thing that always ruins their apocalypse: Christmas. Remember, traveler, some of the monsters you fear most might be the reason the sky hasn't fallen on you yet. But the living aren't the only ones who knock at Christmas. Sometimes, so does death. And in Wales, death wears a horse's skull and asks to come inside. The haunted horse skull that wants in. In Wales, winter nights belong to the Mari Lwyd. Picture it. A horse's skull, bleached bone under the moon, mounted on a pole, draped in flowing white cloth, ribbons fluttering like trapped spirits. Glass eyes shine in the dark, and its jaws are strung with hidden cords so they can chatter, clack, laugh. Tradition says she goes door to door, accompanied by singers, challenging the household to a battle of rhyme. A game, a song, a bit of fun. But folklore has a deeper shadow. They say the Mari is more than a game, that she is the memory of death in the season of life. And if she comes to your home, and you cannot match her wit, cannot out-sing her, cannot out-rhyme the skull of winter itself, you must let her inside. Some swear that when she crosses the threshold, the temperature drops, shadows lengthen, the corners of the rooms stretch, like something unseen just joined the party. For the rest of the year, small things go missing. Footsteps echo behind you with no one there. Dreams of hooves and hollow eyes pressed down on your sleep. They say if you lose to the Mari Luid, you didn't just fail a party game, you invited death to be your house guest. So if you hear a rap at your door this Christmas and a voice asks for a rhyme, choose your words wisely. Of course, you don't always have to open the door for something to come in. Sometimes it's already waiting outside your window.
You dare to feel, hold your courage, hold your ground, let your rhyme be winter sound.
The Christmas Bell Witch of Appalachia. In the hills of Appalachia, they tell many versions of the Bell Witch tale. Most are about curses and voices, about a family tormented. But when the nights grow long and Christmas creeps near, a different story is told in low voices over dim kitchen tables. They say that around Christmas, when grief feels sharpest and empty chairs at the table hurt the most, the Bell Witch walks. She does not march through doors or shriek from rafters. She takes the shape of sound. First, 3 slow knocks on the window. Families freeze, nobody moves. The second knock comes, louder, insistent. But the third is not a knock at all. It is a voice, the voice of someone you have lost, a mother, a brother, a child, calling your name, asking to be let in, asking for warmth, for just one more Christmas together. If you answer, if you open the door or the window or your heart to that voice, some say you'll feel arms around you that are too cold to belong to the living. And yet, for a moment, you'll believe, you'll talk, you'll laugh, you'll remember. Then the warmth will bleed out of the room, candles will go out, and you'll be left staring into the dark with tears on your face and frost on your breath. Because it was never them, it was her. The Bell Witch doesn't always come to torment. Sometimes, she comes to test how deep your longing goes. The first knock is a warning. The second is a choice. The third is the consequence. We leave the cabins and climb into older forests now, where even the snow remembers blood. For in the Slavic night, there are dancers of crimson frost who do not want partners. They want statues.
Let morning's grace send you to your rightful place.
The red dancers, Slavic winter spirits. They call them the red dancers, not because they wear red, but because of what's left behind. On the longest nights of the year, deep in Slavic forests where the trees stand like rows of watching giants, the snow sometimes glows faintly. A dull, strange crimson. Hunters used to say, if the snow turns red, go home. For that is when the dancers come. They appear as human shapes made of drifting red frost, their edges constantly unraveling and reforming, like smoke in a wind that isn't there. They circle travelers who stay out too late, slowly, patiently, never touching, step for step, breath for breath, matching their pace. Those who break and run, who panic, sometimes make it back. But those who, out of curiosity or pride, step forward into the circle, stop. Right foot in the ring of red, left foot still in the white. They say you freeze standing, eyes open, heart warm but body gone, your last exhale crystallized in the air like a tiny ghost. By dawn, you just look like another snow-covered figure in a forest full of silent witnesses. And the red dancers move on, looking for their next partner. So if you ever find yourself walking through winter woods and the snow beneath your boots blushes red, you are not alone. We have walked with many spirits tonight, children of ice, goblins of truth, underground saboteurs, skull-faced guests, witches at the window, dancers of crimson frost. But there is one more. It does not knock. It does not call your name. It simply arrives behind you when the world is too quiet. Our final tale rides on black ice and silence. The phantom sleigh of the Dutch marshes. In the Dutch marshlands, where rivers freeze into long black mirrors and fog curls low around the reeds, they speak little of the phantom sleigh. Not because they don't believe, but because they do. Unlike Santa's bright red sleigh, this one is black as spilled ink. No horses, no reins, no driver. It glides over frozen rivers with the smooth, terrible grace of something that does not need friction to move, only permission. But you will not hear it. That is the worst of it. Christmas joy travels with sound. Carols, church bells, laughter, the clink of glasses and the creak of old floors under dancing feet. The phantom sleigh comes when all of that goes silent. On certain nights, a lone traveler will step out onto the frozen marsh, breath hanging in the air like ghosts, listening for the cheerful jingle of sleigh bells from some distant cottage. And what they hear is nothing. No bells, no wind, just a thick, heavy quiet. That is the omen. Because in that silence, behind them on the ice, the sleigh is already there. They say if you turn around to look, you vanish. No scream, no struggle, just a pair of footprints ending abruptly on the ice, pointing toward nothing, as if the marsh itself decided to erase you. So the old rule is simple. On Christmas night, if the world suddenly goes too quiet, no dogs, no bells, no wind, do not turn around, walk forward, pray, and hope the sleigh has chosen someone else. And so, travelers, we have reached the end of the road once more. Tonight, you walked beside the hollow boy who measures kindness in the cold, the goblin who lays truth bare, the underworld fiends gnawing at the world's roots, the horse skull that rhymes with death, the witch who borrows the voices you miss, the dancers of crimson frost, and the sleigh that glides on silence alone. Strange company, yet each leaves behind a spark of meaning glowing faintly, like a coal in cooling ash. Be kind, be honest, share your warmth, listen to the quiet. For Christmas is not just glitter and song, it is a crossroads, and something always waits to meet you there. But before my lantern dims, a message from the living world. Bobby Washington and all the hosts of Strange Darkness Radio, thank you for an amazing year. Your stories, your support, your curiosity, you've kept this fire burning through every dark corner we explored together. We hope you've enjoyed this Christmas folklore tale and the reminder that in winter, anything is possible. From our haunted hearth to yours, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a wondrous New Year filled with mystery, magic, and light. And now, before we part, allow me to leave you with a carol woven from every spirit who walked with us tonight. A song for those who keep one ear on the wind and one hand on the lantern.
Merry Christmas from Strange Darkness Radio. Shining bright. Shining bright. Oh, shining bright. Shining bright. Shining bright. Shining
Beware the hollow boy, my friends, whose ribs are carved of ice. He wanders through the freezing dark to test if you'll be nice. For those who hoard their warmth away will pay a chilling price when winter's judgment comes, when winter's judgment comes.
The Hodeken in borrowed clothes knows every hidden sin. He waits until the Christmas feast to let the truths begin. Your lies will tumble out like snow and shame you from within. A goblin's justice served, a goblin's justice served. Down in the roots the goblins gnaw to tear the whole world free. But Christmas drives them up above to plague humanity. 12 nights they rage until the dawn restores the ancient tree. Dark creatures held at bay, dark creatures held at bay.
The Mary-white with silver bone comes rapping late at night. She asks a rhyme to gain your door and steps into the light. But lose the verse and death itself may cross your threshold bright. The skull of winter speaks, the skull of winter speaks.
The bell which knocks a mournful 3, then calls in voices dear. She begs to share your fire's glow and whispers soft and clear. But open up and you may find she isn't who you hear. For grief can wear a mask,
For grief can wear a mask. The red dancers in crimson frost encircle travelers late. Their swirling forms of drifting red entice them toward their fate. One step into their ancient ring, and ice will seal your stay. A waltz of frozen dew, a waltz of frozen dew.
the phantom sleigh with shadowed reins glides silent through the gray. If bells are hushed and winds grow still, you know it seeks its prey. Turn not around, for those who do are never found by day. Death rides without a sound,
Death rides without a sound.
so guard your heart and tend your flame when nights are long and cold. For winter things still roam the earth as in the tales of old. But mercy shared and kindness shown will keep the darkness roll. Let Christmas light you home.